Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a general reading for the sign of Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Cancer, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, subscribes, comments. I really, really appreciate it. I've been up for about a month now, so it feels really nice to, have you watching. So I really appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to you for private readings. I do offer private readings, and information about that, if you would like to sign up, can be found in the about section of my YouTube page, but I will never reach out to you first. So please protect yourselves, keep yourselves safe. Cancers, I don't know about you, but I've been feeling in like a very intense energy the past couple of weeks. I don't know if it had to do with the blue moon or everything in retrograde, or I don't know. I just know that things have felt really, really heavy, and I always feel good when I read tarot. It helps me to connect to spirit, and I hope it helps you to connect to spirit as well. And I just wanted to be in a little bit of Cancer family energy. So thank you so much for being here. Cancer, I'm going to do your reading today. It's going to be a little change of pace with the Abstract Futures Tarot, which is very, very awesome. It's very abstract. Tarot card, that tarot deck that my friend gave me. And for your oracle, we're going to stick to Stacey DeMarco for the moment. Deep, dark, and dangerous. Deep, dark, and dangerous. So, we'll get the overall energy. Cards have been pre-shuffled, and I mean, even look at the, it's like red, and there's a snake on the back. It's so deep, dark, and dangerous. Yeah, I knew I would feel better reading for you. I already knew, Cancers, that I would feel better. One card for your overall energy. Cancer face. How beautiful. And I saw quadruple 4 on a license plate today, so this must mean something. Well, the number is 44. The word is puka, and above it, it says mischief. Well, 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 Cancers. What have we gotten ourselves into? I know a few Cancers that are pretty mischievous, that's for sure. Underneath it says the word dangerous. I like to think of it as maybe, honestly, the look on this whatever goat, billy goat, I don't know what kind of goat this is. I don't even know if this is a mythical creature or an actual creature. It looks like Donkey from Shrek, like the face over here. Even the green reminds me of Shrek. So, okay, why, Shrek was about a movie, Shrek was a movie about a creature, a troll, what was Shrek anyway, who was cursed. I haven't watched Shrek in a long time, but the idea is that he turned into like a guy, and then Fiona didn't want him because she liked him as the ogre, the troll, or whatever he was. I'm not explaining this very well. But it's the idea that maybe you think you need to be something that you don't need to be. Maybe you're just good enough exactly as you are. Maybe you've been grappling with that lately. So let's see what the tarot has for you. 4 cards for the base spread, 4 cards for clarifier. And we shall see. Past, present, future, and advice from spirit. I would love to do Celtic Cross for you guys, but I've been told that they run a little too long. I can be a little long-winded, so if I did a Celtic Cross, this would be an hour reading or more, and I don't want to subject you guys to that. Okay. In your past energy, you got the King of Wands in the reverse. This is the King of Wands in the upright. It's a beautiful deck. It's based off of it's by Hilma's Ghost, it says, but it's based off the work by, I believe her name was Hilma Klint. Beautiful. She made these beautiful esoteric paintings. I mean, I believe she was definitely a light worker and truly ahead of her time. So these images are based on her artwork. So King of Wands in the upright would be, you know, it's a court card. Fire energy would talk about somebody who, you know, as we can see here, there's this idea of centeredness, but like radiating from that center is such a magnetism and a dynamic nature. There's a lot of energy and a lot of color, a lot of vibration. It's like, it feels like this energy is vibrating off the page, right? But you have it in the reverse. The King of Wands in the reverse is somebody who, you know, may be a little disgruntled, a little frustrated by the fact that he's not in control, similar to the Emperor energy, but also kind of not having firm footing. Usually the King of Wands pretty much knows the direction that he's headed into and has no qualms about going in that direction. But there's a lot of hesitation because it's clarified by the Page of Wands. Page of Wands would talk about taking that first step. I see this is, yeah, I actually see it like, if you imagine it kind of like this, it's like a swimming pool and you're looking down on a swimming pool, and this is like the diving board. So it's like this idea that, because you got this card in the reverse, it's kind of like a little bit of Fool energy from the Major Arcana, like trying to take this great leap. You know, you see what's at the bottom, though. The Fool doesn't really know where he or she is going. Like, they take the leap of faith. Thank you, Spirit. But you know that you can see, like, the path ahead of you or below you. If, you know, we're using the diving board metaphor, jumping in. You can see the distance. You can see what you're dealing with. It's almost, too, that they're these spectators. They look like spectators to me, kind of gathering around. Can they do it? Can you do it? Maybe you had some doubt. Definitely. You're feeling of doubt, feeling of hesitation. Like, this one wanted to just say, am I shining too bright? Maybe I'm getting a little too bright and I should just dial it back. Because this, to use the pool imagery, that's quite a leap. That's quite a dive. A little bit of showing off. If you were to leap from that high, there's resistance, there's fear in the past energy. I can relate to that as a Cancer. What was it about? I'm going to ask for clarification. It's almost, my head started kind of doing like a little buzzing. So it was almost like knocking on the door. Just ask for another card. So I will. Spirit, what was the fear about? Eight of Cups, walking away from something, walking towards something else. That's the thing about the Eight of Cups. People always refer to it as walking away from what no longer serves you. But the flip side of that is walking towards maybe something that's unknown, walking towards your Nine of Cups, right? Walking towards your 9. So it's interesting with this card, or two things that I see. I see like a pinwheel. You like, you blow on it and it just like spins around, spins around. I don't know how that entertained us as children. Don't know how. They were colorful, I guess. I see two other images here, which is kind of like a nuclear reactor symbol. So kind of like danger, danger, caution, but also a kaleidoscope. Looking down the barrel of a kaleidoscope and seeing all of these fluctuations and myriads of color possibilities. If you ever had a kaleidoscope as a kid and you pointed it in any direction, the possibilities are infinite of how the shapes of the mirrors and the reflections off those mirrors, the colors that collide, would create something new. So there was something here that you were really hesitant about. Can I take this leap? Should I show what I have? Show people what I'm made of? You know, what happens if, you know, they're all looking at me? They're all watching. What if I let them down? You know? But you know it's a good idea. You know that, like, whatever is at the bottom of this pool, it's almost like you're diving in and finding buried, sunken treasure. It's not, you're not leaping like for the heck of it, right? You're going in to the watery depths for a reason. Even though it's very funny how I said watery depths and I keep reading this as water, even though it's a fire energy. This I read as fire energy, but this, I can't let go of that, that pool. It's kind of like, especially for somebody, you know, like me, I don't know how to swim. So the idea of that is terrifying. But Spirit is bringing back a video that I saw on Instagram just like 2 nights ago of this girl. She was walking, she's a diver. I actually have divers in my family, my extended family, which is crazy. But this girl on Instagram, she was walking backwards on the kind of catwalk that's in the sky that leads you to the diving board because it's so high up in the air. She was walking backwards on it. She had to be attached to the catwalk with like a safety harness. And she's talking about how she's going to do this dive. And, you know, the whole time I'm watching her, like, you know how, like, sometimes when you're at a great height, you know, you feel like your stomach's going to drop out or your feet are going to lose their footing. So it's like you're losing your footing, or you don't know how to gain your footing with something like this. Because it just seems like almost infinite, like the possibilities are infinite, and that terrified you in the past energy. What's going on in the present energy? 3 of Pentacles, so that's a beautiful card. Present energy of collaboration. That's clarified by the Knight of Cups. How beautiful. Knight of Cups talks about in a message, an offering. It's authentic, somebody bringing in some news that has to deal with the heart space and something that you will love or at the very least appreciate greatly. 3 of Pentacles, it's like I see the mad scientists in their little, I wanted to say laboratory, but laboratory. Their laboratory, mixing and concocting, and, you know, it's almost like there's like electricity going on behind here, and here you're just scribbling your notes, like your formulas, and trying to configure things and rationalize things, and all of these formulas and calculations, and what do they all add up to, right? There was a lot of, or there's been a lot of calculations lately. I don't know what that's about. I mean, I know what it's about for me, as I work in some, one could call finance fields. For me, there's been a lot of number crunching and calculations, and, you know, I went to art school, so what am I even doing? With the Knight of Cups, though, a very beautiful energy. This one cup, it's kind of, see, I see here, these are all like buttons, and it's almost like a soda fountain, and you're just like, but it's like an energetic soda fountain. So instead of pouring out soda, it pours out what does it pour out, Spirit? I was gonna say possibilities, but I was like, no. They're like different flavors of experience. What does that even mean? Like building off of that kaleidoscope energy, right? Where it was so, you know, it was overwhelming because the possibilities were endless. But it's almost like here you've pared them down to 6 options, to 6 distinct possibilities, right? 6 distinct ones, and maybe a few of them are highlighted more than others. And it's kind of like, I'm looking at this card and just this cackle that I assume is coming. This, when I look at this, I hear a sound, right? It's kind of shrill. And I'll be honest with you, I don't read the mischief as your energy. However, I read it as the energy that is in your vicinity, your orbit, your periphery, almost like this, almost like the crowd around you. Because it didn't, you know, I looked at it and I was like, what's up with that cackling? It's almost like you're just trying to live your peaceful, naturey life over here, communing with the trees. And in the middle of all of that beautiful serenity, you have this character that's just like brazen and brash and loud and obnoxious and watching you, trying to take your leaf and just gathering around, almost like waiting for that moment to, like, I don't know, judge you, make fun of you. I'm not trying to make you paranoid about anything, but judgment feels very, very strong. So maybe it's not like an out loud cackling, calling you out, but there's a judgment energy there, and I don't think you appreciate it. You work too hard, right? Here you are, like, I'm just trying to be in my laboratory. I'm just trying to make ends meet. I'm just trying to do the best I can with all the chaos that's being thrown at me. And I've really tried to make sense of it all. You know, the knight is somebody outside of you. I felt really drawn to grab this crystal that a friend gave me for my birthday. It's red carnelian and feels like it's like grounding. Like I really wanted to like touch something that was going to ground me at this time. Also, you know, because I see these colors here and it just kind of like reflected that color back to me. So I'm going to ask for clarification on my Cancers. What is this about, Spirit? Present energy. 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles. That's 2 8s you have so far in this reading. 8 of Pentacles talks about diligence and hard work. Exactly. I've been working so hard. I've tried to be a team player. Even though I had everything being thrown at me, I still tried. And from what I see here, even though, you know, it looks a little chaotic, but there's a weird kind of balance and symmetry to it. You know, it reminds me of when people, when they stack the rocks at the beach, which they tell people, scientists say that you shouldn't do that. I forget why. It's like bad for the, I don't know why you can't do stuff like that, but you can't do stuff like that apparently. But that's what it reminds me of. It's kind of like taking those boulders, not boulders, but what do you call them? It's not a pebble because that's too small. Just smooth out rocks. And it's kind of making these kind of serene towers, meditative practice, mandalas in the sand, all of that jazz. Trying to balance everything. You're trying so hard to balance everything. You know what seems so strange? This shape here doesn't seem to me to fit in with the rest of the vibe here. It's like, it almost looks like a pixelated, it looks out of place. Something with your job where, or, you know, where you spend the majority of your time, like speaking about where you devote a majority of the hours of your day, whatever endeavor that is. That somehow honestly, because it's so out of place, I read it as kind of a spirit guide, because there's kind of a beautiful symmetry to it, a complexity that the other shapes don't have. So now it's almost like your spirit guide has been with you. Thank you, Spirit. I've definitely felt that. I hope you have too, that your spirit guides have been around you during this time, where you just like, you know, my head's about to come off. I'm so overwhelmed. You know, and then receiving every once in a while these beautiful pockets of clarity. It's almost like you can tick one thing off your checklist. What's in the future potential energy? The Nine of Swords in the reverse. Nine of Swords talks about nightmare energy, overthinking, analysis paralysis, but to the nth degree, just like cannot shut it off, right? But it's in reverse. So finally have we been able to turn things on their head and just say, enough already. I'm tired of like having to compete. Like, I'm not even gonna try anymore to raise my voice over this mess, this mischievousness. It's getting in the way. So it's almost like I would say, Spirit, make heads or tails of it. Protect my energy from this. I'm telling you, the fact that 44 came out for you Cancers, and I saw 4444 on a license plate today, and I was walking back from the subway, and I just like saw that plate, and I just felt just like an instant relief, because I knew Spirit was talking to me. You know, they don't need to say much, but that was a lot at that moment in time. And then to see it here, you're being protected, Cancers. You're so in tune. You're so connected to your guides. I mean, it's where we sit in the zodiac, right? Like Cancer, at the place that Cancer sits in the astrological chart, it's like all, and I'm not making this up, this is what someone that I watch, she's a scholar, an astrology scholar, she's learned all of these different practices, and she said where Cancer sits in the astrological, you know, wheel, that we are the sign that bears the burden of all the other signs, basically. You know, we are the mothers of the zodiac, and it's like all the issues and all the energy and all the emotions and everything comes our way, and we are expected to just handle it, right? So finally now it's kind of like you being able to release some of that and just say, I've had enough. It's not serving you, right? It's not serving you to get really, really worked up over perhaps some things you can't control, right? It doesn't mean that we don't. But it's so important. That's why you have to have a very strong practice and discipline in place, however that looks for you, right? For some people it's meditation, and for some people it's taking a walk, swimming, doing needlepoint, you know, bowling just popped into my head, just doing a sport, just running, taking a run. That would not be mine, but to each their own. This is clarified by the Queen of Wands in the reverse. So we have a divine pair, King and Queen of Wands. You know, I just see this as you in your divine feminine and divine masculine selves. Look how beautiful these are depicted. You know, the jagged edges and the round concentric circles. So different, so beautiful, so unique in their own way. the different sides of who you are, but feeling a little pissed off. Queen of Wands in the reverse is pissed. She's frustrated. She knows. It's like, sorry, I kind of thought that I heard, like my ears started to ring for a split second and then it stopped. It reminds me of these like kind of bits and baubles on Christmas sweaters, you know, like those kind of themed sweaters at Christmas time that have the little poofs. And there's always the desire to yank on one, right? I mean, maybe that's my desire. Or like when if you're like at Christmas time and you're wearing like an ugly sweater and it has all this on it, and you know, a little kid sits with you and it's like, forget it. It's almost as if like, it's almost as if you've sewn everything so beautifully together and people are now trying to dismantle it somehow. Dismantle what you've worked so hard to put together. Sorry, it's a little dark in here. You know, where on one hand you were worried, and then after you were worried, you got angry. Almost angry that you were worried. Angry that you put yourself through that. Or rather, this is your future energy. This is your future energy. Like you're going to be angry perhaps at others, perhaps at yourself for making you worry for nothing. Or you did all this work and what was it for? Did anybody even notice? Did anybody care? Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Divine timing, not yet set. Divine, Wheel of Fortune is a planet, which is, why am I having a hard time talking? Feeling discombobulated, right? Wheel of Fortune's planet is Jupiter, the planet of expansion. Also protection. I always talk about, when I talk about Jupiter, I talk about the fact that we wouldn't be able to exist without Jupiter because its gravity pulls in all of the asteroids that would otherwise slam into Earth and you know, obliterate us. So I almost see it like this, like it's deflecting, right? That right now maybe you're being kind of inundated. This is the nice way of saying it. Almost like inundated with these thoughts, these demands, these anxieties of others coming at you. And you know, it lowers your vibration. When your vibration lowers, then you're not able to manifest at your fullest potential. So there's a little bit of caution here that really try to, you know, Wheel of Fortune did show up, so it's like you're close. And I also see this as a kind of compass, right? And also a little bit of a third eye / evil eye. You're close, but not quite there yet. Not quite ready yet, because you're still having to deal with the naysayers and the judgmental types and the demanding ones that are kind of, they're kind of a little bit ruining your peace, Cancer. What are you going to do about that? And what's Spirit's advice? The Three of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So Spirit wants you to raise your vibration. I see this as a dinner table and you're with friends clinking glasses. You're going out, you're enjoying your life. You know, that doesn't mean spending money. You can if you want to, if you have it to spend, you know, live your life, but it doesn't, you know, we're not talking about, you know, just breaking the bank to have a fantastic night on the town. Maybe it's a quiet coffee with your closest friends and just laughing and being in each other's camaraderie, in each other's company, in each other's heart space. The people that you trust, the people that have proven that they've supported you 100%. Be with those people at this time. That's what Spirit says, because there's a beautiful Ace of Pentacles kind of waiting in the wings. You did get this card in reverse. It's like waiting in the wings. I see this as like the Wi-Fi signal that Spirit is trying to like send this, like sending the signal out to you right now. You know, Cancer, I have this beautiful new opportunity, but you aren't seeing it at the moment because you feel so frustrated, and maybe you're alone. Maybe you're kind of isolating yourself out in that feeling. And so Spirit's saying, don't hermit away too much. I don't see the Hermit card here. Don't hermit away. Be with friends. Tell them, you know, maybe they can help you brainstorm. I just heard, you know, Cancer, for once in your life, just let somebody else be there for you. That felt kind of like a personal, harsh message. It's hard though, right? It's hard. So, Cancer, that's your reading. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. Please hit the bell notification if you'd like to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thanks, Cancer.